And yeah, I'll start your reading right now for Cancer. So, sorry, that was crazy. The first card you have your past is the Three of Swords, yes. Excuse me. I think, yeah, this is about someone you're over. You are over them. You are over them. I feel as if I need to tell you that you're over them, because I think there might be times when, you're going along as usual, living your life, doing whatever you're doing, and then suddenly you get this feeling of just missing them, wanting to talk to them. Most of the time you're fine, I think, but sometimes you just get this overwhelming feeling that, oh, I want to tell them this and I can't, I want to contact them. It's that kind of thing. Now, I don't think you've acted on this. Actually, no, you haven't. I'm not seeing you breaking down and contacting them or anything like that. So, good for you if that's the case, because I'm getting an overwhelming feeling around this. Just every now and again, you just feel a little bit overwhelmed by the fact that you can't talk to them. There are things you've done, and I think you feel as if, oh, they'd be proud of me if I just told them this, because they were kind of talking to me about this, and now that I've done this, I want to show them. And it's that kind of thing, and sometimes it doesn't matter how long you were together with someone or how long you've been separated for. If you feel like that, you just feel it. The heart feels what it feels. There's no time scale, there's no clock, there's no calendar that measures what your heart feels. And I do think every time you felt that feeling, logic stepped in for you and stopped you. And I'm really glad it did, because I think if you did contact them, you'd probably end up feeling a lot worse. You deserve a lot more. And you definitely deserve a lot more than what they're able to give you. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have your past is the Eight of Cups. Yes. Yeah, I think this man has his back to us. I think something happened behind your back. You did separate, obviously, but before that happened, I think maybe in the last stages of this relationship, I think, a lot happened behind your back when you weren't around. I see that sometimes when I look at this moon, it's frowning, and sometimes the moon sees things that nobody else gets to see. Sometimes it sees things that happen in secret at night time. And I think you just offered this person so much, too much actually, and they just turned their back on all of that. Just like this man's walking away from these emotions, from all this love you were giving them, this wall of cups. And it was a wall. It was a great, big, strong wall of emotion, and you felt very, very strongly for them. I think, yeah, they walked away to someone else, I think, and they definitely had passion for this person, whoever they were walking toward, because this man's wearing red. But he's heading toward, look at what he's heading toward, ragged rocks, rough rocks. And not just that, they're slippery. They have green moss all over them, slippery moss. So the situation they were heading toward, it wasn't great, obviously. It looked stable. Rocks and earth can represent stability. But when they're jagged rocks and when there's slippery moss all over the rocks, obviously that means the opposite, instability or instability or whatever the word. I think it's instability. It's not instability. Instability, difficulty, problems. And I think they tried to make it look as if everything was fantastic, but it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. I think this ex, or whoever this is, I think they probably paraded this new person around. Maybe they were on social media with them smiling or whatever, but it really wasn't as it seemed. It really was not. And the other thing about this kind of person going off with this other person, the water's flowing away from the rocks. So he's going toward these rocks and the water's flowing away. So the love they had probably drained away quite quickly again. They wouldn't have showed anyone any of that side of things. So I don't know whether you know this or not. But yeah, regardless of whatever they do and don't do, you're so much better off, and you know that you are. If you're ever tempted to contact them, think about this card, especially the moon's face. It's like it's giving this man the side eye. So that's how you have to look at them. And if they come back to you, look at them like that. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your past is Temperance. This is my favourite card. I love this card. I think this is another reminder to let you know that all that is behind you. It's all behind you. If you have these low moods again, or not low moods, but if you have these kind of moods of missing them and going, oh, I want to contact them, just remember that it's all behind you. And I think this is also showing me your ethics. This is a very ethical card sometimes. What I mean by that is, there are a lot of things you could have done in revenge, I think, in this situation. I'm actually seeing a situation where you could have easily gotten them into some kind of trouble, maybe even in the workplace, I think. But you didn't do that. You rose above everything. You tempered yourself. You balanced your emotions out. So that was really good. That shows me how you really rose above this. I'm also seeing a few other things. Yeah, I'm seeing healing with these beautiful daffodils in this card. I don't think you totally healed yet from this old relationship. You're still getting these feelings of, oh, I want to talk to them every now and again. That doesn't mean that you're not ready for a new relationship. That doesn't mean that if you're in a relationship now that you should get away from that. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means you still have a few things to work through. That's all that means. You don't want to go back to them. Don't feel as if you're kind of unfaithful if you're with someone else or whatever. No, you're not, because you're not with them. You're not talking to them. You don't want to be with them. It's just you have those little feelings every now and again. And it's just something you have to work through. That's what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing an opportunity that might have come up for you, and I think you probably said no to this. I'm getting not a bad feeling, but a feeling of just needing to take a step back from whatever this was. Yeah, I think you were definitely right to say no to this. Usually I'm sort of, go for it, there's an opportunity, do this. But with this, I don't think you were suited to this. I don't think you would have lasted very long if you had have said yes to this. You were definitely right to say no. I'm feeling that really strongly in that card. So if you've said no and it's too late and the opportunity's gone and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should have said yes, no, I think you're right to say no if that's resonating with you. So the first card you have for your present is the King of Wands. Yeah, so maybe this is, I think this is one of the reasons, or a big reason, why you said no to this opportunity. It wasn't you. The opportunity was not you. It wasn't who you are, if that makes sense. I think you have something else that you're thinking about, or it's brewing inside you, something very exciting that is you. It's absolutely you. And I think you've probably been thinking about this for a long time. You've probably been researching, learning everything you could about this. You're very passionate about whatever this is. You haven't actually put this into action properly yet. I'm just sensing that you're sort of right on the edge of doing this. And, I think when you said no to this opportunity, I think you might have actually had a lot of people around you telling you that you're a bit crazy to say no to this, or that, oh, you'll never see an opportunity like that ever again. But I don't think they knew about this. I think you didn't want to tell them for a start. But I don't think the people who said that actually know you. You have people who do know you. But the people who said, oh, you're crazy, they don't know you. Because if they did know you properly, deeply, intimately, they would have known that that was not you. And I think one of the reasons why you're keeping this to yourself was because you knew there were a lot of people around you who wouldn't understand this thing, and there was no point in explaining it to them over and over again. And it wasn't just that they wouldn't understand why you were doing this. I don't think they understand what this actually is either, if that makes sense. Even the basics. This is something really different. This is something quite specialist. I think there's a small niche for this. It's something like that. And yeah, I keep on seeing you being right at the edge of starting this. It's like this king, he's right on the edge of his seat. He's about to get up. So it feels like you're kind of yeah, it's like you're kind of on the starting line at a race and you're kind of crouching down, ready to go. I think once you do go, once you actually start, you'll be so fast, it'll happen so quickly that, you know, you might not even be properly ready. So yeah, I'm actually seeing you. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you really struggling to keep up with the demand of something. So, you know, if this is a product or a business or something, there's going to be a big demand in this. And, you know, I actually think you're right not to rush forward quite yet, you know, until you have some kind of proper system set in place. You might even need other people around you helping you. I think you will. I think you will need someone around you supporting you and helping you. So, you know, if this all resonates, think about that now. Plan for that now. Don't feel silly doing that. Don't feel as if, oh, if I get this bigger premises or this equipment, or if I plan for something big, you know, it'll never happen. Don't ever think that. I think you'll be really, really surprised at how quickly this is going to take off when you do start. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the next card you have for your present is the Two of Cups. Yeah, this is great. I love this. Yeah, I think someone is going to help you. I think someone's really going to help you. They'll be very, very happy to help you. I'm actually seeing a combination of friendship, cooperation, and maybe there's a possibility of this turning into love. Or it might be that you're already in a relationship and your partner's helping you, and through that help, you get closer to them. It might be that. Because I'm seeing two people, and you and someone else, growing, you know, really growing close, and really connecting through a purpose, if that makes sense. You know, it's either, you know, so either way there's, you know, there's love here, but, you know, if you are single and this is a new person, or if this is a friendship that turns into love eventually, I'm not seeing the love aspect happening for a while. I think, you know, they'll be sharing in this purpose with you, talking about practical things, and then I think the conversations will eventually turn from practical to other things, and that's when the closeness comes. It kind of comes out of that, if that makes sense. So, you know, this is really beautiful. And if you look at the woman in this card, she has a laurel wreath around her head as well. So that's a symbol of victory. So there's victory here, victory in closeness, friendship, victory in this work thing, and, you know, victory in love, possibly. So this is looking really beautiful for that card. I love that card. So the last card you have for your presents, the moon, yes. Yeah, you're still going to be going through a few of these kind of ups and downs where you're kind of still missing this person a little bit. Not missing them, but kind of just missing some kind of familiarity. It's almost like, it's not like, oh, I miss them. It's kind of like, oh, it's a habit. You know, every time I had this happen, I used to call them. Every time this happened, I'd text them. And so kind of it's an automatic thing, and you kind of miss that. That's what I'm seeing. So you're going to be going through a few of these still, and but I think as you concentrate more and more on these goals, and also as you get closer to this person in the Two of Cups, I think the downs and the kind of you know, the kind of missing this and the missing the contact, it won't be as bad as they were. I think each time it happens, each time you have one of these kind of, oh, I miss them and whatever, or if you start to feel upset or angry or something, I think each time it happens, it'll become less and less intense until it kind of gradually fades away. You know, because this lobster's coming out of the worst, you know, he's coming out of the dark water and he's about to ascend onto this beautiful golden path. But, you know, there are a few rocks in front of him, and there's this howling wolf, and there's this dog on the path as well. So, you know, you've come out of the worst, but you still have a few ups and downs in front of you, but they're going to fade away gradually. As you go up this hill, they're going to kind of become distant, and they're going to become further and further away from you. So, you know, I think this is also a message to remind you not to overstress over any bad, you know, feelings you have. Because I think sometimes when you get into these feelings of kind of, oh, why can't I talk to them? You know, sometimes your head kind of runs away with itself, and you kind of think, oh, does this mean I'm not over them? Does this mean I'm going back to square one? Does this mean I still, want them back and all of that. I think this card's a reminder that you're not, that you actually are over them. So don't start to go down that road in your head. I'm looking at these watchtowers on this card as well. And, watchtowers can mean a lot of different things, so many different things, hundreds of different things. But here I'm seeing guardians. So it's like you've been watched over, you've been guarded, protected. So don't lose yourself in these kind of negative feelings. Remember, you're going up this path. You're not going down, you're going up. And each time you move up the hill, these, the dog and the wolf and all the horrible dark water and everything, it's going to be further and further behind you. So just remember that. If you ever go through one of these again, when you're like, oh, aren't I over them? I missed. If you go through that again, just remember where you're going. You're going up, you're not going down. The first card you have for your future is the Empress. Okay, so I think this is about this person in the Two of Cups. And I think if this does turn into love, or if you are in a relationship, because I am seeing love around this, so I think it might develop into that. Yeah, it is. I think it will. And I think they're going to be really protective of you, actually, not in a controlling way or a way that, assumes you're not capable of things. They know how capable you are, and they're on board with whatever you want to achieve and all of that. But yeah, this looks totally different from your relationship with this person in the Eight of Cups. There's no need for you to feel as if you have to give and give and give all these cups endlessly. The giving is going to be mutual here. I mean, look at this Two of Cups again. A lot of people, okay, so they're both giving equally. They're creating something together. That's what I love about the Two of Cups. That's what I love about that. The Lovers card is often seen as this great big love card. And, it can be, but there are a lot of tricky things in the Lovers card. This card to me is probably one of the best love cards. It's much better than the Lovers card, because this couple are equals and they're building together. They're joining together. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that. They think this is kind of the kind of friendship card, and it can be that as well. It can be partnerships, doesn't have to be love. But if it is about love, I think this is a very, very, very strong connection, and it's about equals. So I love that. And yeah, this is going to feel really refreshing to you, actually. That's the best word I can think of to describe this. Yeah, I'm getting a really, really positive feeling around this. It's really, really beautiful. So I really hope that does resonate with you. So the next card you have for your future is the Eight of Swords. Yeah. So, yeah, there are a couple of things here. Okay. I'm seeing something coming out, something that was hidden. And I think whatever this is, I think this has probably been hidden for a long, long time. I'm seeing a situation around a family. And I think you might either already know about this, or it might be that you've always kind of suspected something, and whatever this is you've been suspecting, if this is the case, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. That's what I'm seeing. Someone around this was restricted in some way for a long, long time. They weren't able to say anything. This is quite sad, actually. I'm getting a lot of sadness, a lot of stress around this. Censorship, I'm getting. I think whoever this was, I think they were being censored, but I think they're also censoring themselves as well. I actually think the outcome of this might be division, division in this family. And I think you're going to be on the side of the person who speaks out. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's really, really not going to be easy. They're going to need a lot of support. They're probably going to find that they have a lot of people turning against them. So, do everything you can to support this person if this all resonates with you. And what I'm seeing is you're going to side with them because part of you knew, or part of you suspected something was happening, and you have really, really strong intuition, And you're also a very strong person. I think you're seen as a strong figure in this family, not by everyone, but by this person who needs your support, definitely. And they're going to need your strength. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have for your future is the Queen of Wands. So yeah, again, this is the strong queen. This is about your strength. This is how this person sees you. And I think when you side with them, you're going to be going down a bit of a difficult road, a hard road. You know, if you look at the left side, if you look at this queen and you look on the left side, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see it on camera. So if you look on the left side, you know, there are these three pyramids, and this is the glamorous side. This is the kind of golden pyramids, you know, with the gold and the gorgeous pyramids and the beautiful, huge monument, an amazing thing. And on the other side, there's sort of a dull coloured, slightly rocky path. That's the path you're going to be taking when you side with this person. It's not going to be a popular one. It's not going to be a glamorous one. It's not going to be fun, but it'll be the right path for you to take. And you know that, or you're going to know that. I think this person's going to call you. I think they're going to call and text you a lot. They're going to need you. They're going to need you for advice. And, you know, just for someone to talk to. This is how they see you, like this queen, strong, optimistic with a sunflower, and capable. So if this is making sense to you, I know there's no way you'd ever let this person down, but just keep in mind that, yeah, they're going to be a bit demanding of your time. Just try to be as patient as you can with them. Because there's a lot of isolation around this, and they're going to be feeling quite isolated. That's what I'm getting. So they're going to really, really need you. So just keep all of that in mind. You know, there are going to be times when you're really busy and they call you or something and you're going to be tired and whatever, but just be very careful with them. Be very, you know, just help them out as much as you possibly can, because they're really going to need it. They're really going to be dealing with something very heavy. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So Cancer, I hope this resonated. General readings can't always resonate with every single person, as you know. But again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if that's what you like to do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.